Now I'm more popular. I ended up standing out more than I expected. I've gained a lot of interest, but I only considered this a part of my mission to aid the prince. Nah, dude, I'm gonna become the king of the pirates.
Just a sec.
Well, what's with this thing? Is this our carriage? Shall I just
run
run her along the main road then? The others seem to be doing as much. You're just as crazy as this runner. I'll take the compliment, little lady. Now let's have some coordinates for a little test run. What is happening right now?
Let's see.
We want to go to a place called Martira, Old Castle Town, I think. Should be a ways south. Can I really quickly go turn in this quest, though? But, hear me out. Headed for the other south along the main... Dude, that's so annoying that they don't let you go turn in that quest. That's actually so annoying. I hate that. Yeah, okay, Martira, here it is. Down to Martira, eh? On this craft's legs. I say it'll be about 4 days, 3 nights about. 4 days and 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than a carriage. And surely the roads will be safer at that kind of speed. Jolly good? Jolly good. Now cinch those britches, chaps. Full steam ahead to Martira, Old Castle Town. Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed at the game not giving me an opportunity to turn in that quest.
This is amazing. I don't know a thing about Gauntlet Runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you used to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neuras. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable. Neuras? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business, then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But, pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God. Is this a Gauntlet Runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Neuras, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the ballet runner alone.
Look, this runner... it is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate, for both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a Gauntlet Runner for His Highness? Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest Gauntlet Runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
I think I love him. If we die together.
Well, if we die, we all die together.
Ha! The boy's bold as brass.
'Tis not an invitation, you dolt. Eyes on the road.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brylehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this Gauntlet Runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Did we not specify a carriage instead of a Gauntlet Runner, Hulkenberg?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention.
I would rather win.
Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
I think it's a perfect idea.
Makes sense, doesn't it? The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the Gauntlet Runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
The Gauntlet Runner. The Gauntlet Runner has various areas for different activities, such as strategy, the lounge, and the kitchen. You can also visit Academia by finding more and interacting with them. Let's visit the engine room first. Take your time and have a look around.
Oh, yeah?
I'm very interested in how the game is going to go forward from here, especially with a, like a day system like Personas, but we've been taken away from the capital so suddenly. I've never been in a Gauntlet Runner. Kind of want to see what the engine room's like. Okay, well, let's go check out this feels so Final Fantasy VII to me, by the way. Hello, Moore.
Now, where was I?
Let's take a look in Academia real quick. We haven't been there at all today, and we're like 2 hours in. What's up, my dude?
I've been waiting.
So your journey has begun. May you meet all manner of people across these untrodden lands. Archetypes are influenced by connections of the heart, so to speak, which means the more hearts you encounter, the more your own might grow. I sincerely look forward to seeing what your journey will bring to my research. All right. How much magic do I have? Just slightly over 23k. Nice, nice. I'm getting very close to having the healer. Oh, no, wait, no, I've switched to mage, haven't I? Yeah, so I've only got healer at 10. So I don't need to worry about getting Maria to rank 3 anytime soon. But mage... we still have 9 more ranks to go. Or like 8.5. Gallica is not rank 3 yet, though. Okay, okay. Stroll still only has the warrior, but the warrior is almost at 20. I really hope we can get him to rank 3 soon. Because of that, I think I will give him the brawler as well and just have him continue to be fully focused on like physical damage, potentially. So if we get him to rank 20 on the warrior and he still is not rank 3, we'll switch him to brawler temporarily. You, don't you? I was about to say, you need mage to get to 10 at some point. You've almost got this at 20. I already gave you mage. It's only level 2 right now. Okay, okay. All right, just taking a little look around at what we got going on. And we don't have you at rank 3 yet anyway. Once you hit 20 on Knight, we'll need to flip you to Mage for a little while to get more experience on it. Okay. Looking good. I'm liking the archetype mechanic in the game. I'm really looking forward to the next rank up on them. You know, this also gives me major Toontown vibes. Mainly it reminds me of the COG HQs. Yo, it's like an actual heart. That's so cool. Wonder what makes this thing run.
Hello?
First time on a Gauntlet Runner, eh? Whoa, that scared me. Looks like that pipe's in here too. Called a runner phone. There's one in every room. Now, I believe I heard you speculating on the old girl's inner workings. Gauntlet Runners use maglet crystals as fuel to run, you see. Used to be you'd take your life in your hands when you traveled the wilds. Then, thanks to the kingdom's greatest minds, the Gauntlet Runner was born. The runner's actual legs are based on a colossal beast, made for zero momentum loss even on the roughest terrain. They're modeled after chocobos. Among other things, I modified this craft with a bit more zip and speed, another step closer to my dream. What dream? Long story, my girl, best told to a captive audience with no plans for the next few days and nights. Never mind then, maybe some other time. Anyway, still plenty about the old girl that's a work in progress, but by the time I'm done, she'll have some new tricks. You just watch. It'll be sunset before long, so start thinking about bedding. I was gonna say bleeding. Bedding down for the night, can't run in the dark, and the old girl needs a rest as much as we do. You know, the music of this thing is very good. You'll continue toward your destination while spending time on the Gauntlet Runner, utilize its facilities to obtain items, raise abilities, or do other things you wouldn't be able to do in town. Try using the kitchen, reading books at the bookshelf, or using the washing machine. More activities will become available over time. You can also spend time with your allies while traveling, which may help to improve your virtues. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. Yeah, hanging out with my allies, which will hopefully also help with their rank ups.
Speaking of,
Neuras said he got the kitchen up and running. If you're hungry, would you fancy a meal? Hardly consider myself a chef of any great skill, but Stroll said he wanted to try some of the recipes he learned at the Hushed Honeybee. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm down to hang out. Stroll, you good? I feel drunk. Motion sickness. Don't you vomit here.
Sorry.
I'll survive. I can handle the swaying of a carriage, but this, it's another beast. Seems I'll need to learn to endure it. Oh, Stroll gets motion sickness. Poor dude. What does cooking accomplish for me? Use the Gauntlet Runner's cooking table to whip up some food for you and your allies. Eating prepared meals can grant your party various positive effects. To cook, you need ingredients. Buy them, win them, or find them lying around. Try to experiment as much as possible. After you made every dish at least once, you may learn how to create the ultimate culinary masterpiece. There's an ultima weapon of cooking in this game. I love it. Whose handwriting is that? There are notes here about new potential recipes. Okay. Want to make something? If so, we should try to have everyone teach us to use their culinary specialty. Well, I'm not too fussed about making foods. I want to, like, up stats, really. Bookshelf is lined with interesting books. The books I could read are New World Travel Diary, Pride and Persuasion. Was this Pride and Prejudice? This book outlines useful conversational techniques for convincing others. I haven't started it yet. Neuras probably left this here, huh? Let's take it over to the window if you want to read it together. Yes, more eloquence. Okay, so it's just like books in Persona. This is what I want as stat ups. Apparently, this book teaches you ways to ensure others will agree with you. This section is part of the basics. First impressions are vital when it comes to negotiations. Okay, I guess that's true enough. Lower the other person's guard by assuming a natural smile and humble demeanor, then use flattery to probe for weak points.
What are you talking about?
Probe for weak points? Why? To gain the upper hand.
Sure.
No kidding.
Oh, I see. It feels a bit underhanded, but I guess if you need things to go your way, that's how it has to be. Eloquence. Ooh, +4? Love to see it. Yeah, I'm still only rank 1 on that. I'm surprised. I guess a bit of force can go a long way in helping negotiations go smoothly. Yeah, whenever the person isn't agreeing with whatever your negotiations are about, you know, just hold them at gunpoint.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon, and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.
Well, I guess we're never turning in that one quest, chat. We'll go back eventually. Establishing an encampment. At night, the vast wilderness outside of town is ensconced. I don't know how to pronounce this word. In darkness. Forcing your way through the unmarked terrain is very dangerous, even with the stalwart Gauntlet Runner words. Instead, establish camp somewhere safe. You can resume your travels the next morning. While in an encampment, you can use any of the facilities on the Gauntlet Runner like usual, but you can also reminisce about the journey with your allies. Give it a try. 3 days until Martira. First time camping in the Gauntlet Runner. I'm kind of excited, but it'll be a long night, so why not spend some time relaxing with someone? There are insects gathering by the campfire. Apparently you can eat these bugs, according to Hulkenberg. No thank you. A Luma bee.
Your thoughts?
Haha, how was that ride, eh? Smooth as butter, luxurious as a palace, awe-inspiring, tear-jerking, absolutely. Haha, this runner's such a guilty pleasure. Though credit where it's due, my tinkering certainly helped make her what she is. Though full disclosure, that's all thanks to a little mechanism I whipped together that keeps her legs from sinking into the dunes. Wouldn't have to worry about the train if she could just fly, but that's a story for another day. Off you go, better get your 40 winks.
Hey,
Hey, are you looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're gonna get, and I'm not up to much more. Care to keep me company for a while? Recalling the past and planning for the future, maybe I can hone my imagination. Yeah, sure. I really just want to get Stroll to rank 3.
now then.
So next up is Martira. It feels like just yesterday when I first arrived in the royal capital. So much has happened in such a short span of time. I met you, we went over to the northern fortress and awakened a mysterious power. I'd once thought magic like this only existed in heroic tales of times long past.
Speaking of,
Which, I've been thinking that perhaps this is the same power that hero kings once used. If that's the case, then why do you think so many of them met miserable ends?
What's that about?
Maybe they lacked allies?
oh, I see.
I see. Try as they might, even the strongest king wouldn't be able to establish a country by himself. Perhaps it's not a matter of how much power you have, but how you choose to wield it. Moreover, we've got more than one power at our disposal, and on top of that, we've got allies who share these abilities as well.
Then,
If we continue to master these archetypes, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to surpass the great hero kings of old. Though all this does make me wonder, just how many more of these powers are still out there? My imagination has grown.
All right.
Yo, +4 again, let's go. Come now, it's too early for bed, let's talk some more. Bam, ba-da-bam.